Well, this isn't a video that I thought I'd be making. I didn't even know if I was going to make it, actually. I've been kind of tossing up, should I actually talk about this or not? And while I was tossing it up, I kind of got called out again. So I just thought, you know what? Let's just put all this together and talk about it. Now, I'm not going to be, by the way, I'm not going to be making a video every time someone has a problem with me. If I did that, I would never have time to make the videos I actually want to make, because there's always someone in the comments who's going to disagree with what I have to say, because that's just life, right? That's polarity. But this person's made a video about me. So, what I think we'll do is, and it's not just me he calls out a few people, and I don't want to involve them in this, because I don't want that to like maybe change your opinion of them. So what we'll do is I'll just let this guy introduce the video, and then we'll kind of skip to the part where he talks about me. And I think I'll just let him tell the story, and then I might interject a little bit. But once he's told the story, we'll talk about it, okay? And then we'll go from there. Also, by the way, guys, there's a few other things that I want to talk about at the end of the video, and I'm saving them for the end because I know the OGs, the guys that watch all the videos, you guys will still be there. And to be honest, you're the people that I'm talking to with that kind of stuff. So without further ado, let's get into it. So this guy's name is Undercover ET UK. And basically, yeah, this is an incident that happened in my Discord, in the Polarity Discord. But like I said, I'll let him tell the story and then we can talk about it.
Good evening, folks. Welcome back to Undercover ET UK. It's Monday, the sun's out. Hope everyone's feeling good. Unfortunately, I've got to bring you guys down just a little bit. In fact, no, I've got to ask for your help. In all fairness, I need your help on this one, because there are some people that just aren't listening, you know, and it's bugging me now. I feel like I should never have had to have done this specific episode for the channel, because I'm all about disclosure, and I'm seeing what I'm seeing and I'm hearing what I'm hearing. A really unpopular thing that I've got to say today, but I feel like my hands are locked. I feel like my hand has been forced, actually.
I don't think his hands have been forced, to be honest. Just before we go any further, I really don't think this video was necessary, but we'll get into that.
And I'm not one to shy away and say the unpopular thing. I'm just going to say it as it is, right? So yeah, a little bit of a rant video, but I've got to call out some. I don't like doing this, right? But I'm going to name some channels today because I'm getting really annoyed now. Look. The reason why my hand has been completely forced here is because these guys are building up a channel base, they're building up an audience, and they're calling real UAP evidence fake or BS. Okay? It's not acceptable.
That's
just not acceptable. For anyone that's like, oh, come off it, Rob, look, my channel is about disclosure. My channel is to be completely transparent about everything. And this video today is about the fight within the UFO community. So whether you guys...
I don't think there's a fight, by the way. I think this guy is starting a fight by making this video.
Like it or not, it's relevant, okay? And what we've got going on is we've got certain people on certain channels that are dismissing the real evidence because A, they're just not awake to it, and they're just not aware, which is fine, but they can't be on a UFO channel, okay, pushing for disclosure, sharing all this information, which is great work, and not actually being aware about what they should be looking for. That's ridiculous. And honestly, I've been watching it now for some months, but in the last couple of weeks, I feel like we need to turn a corner. And I didn't want to be the one to do it, but shit, I'm here, okay, so
I feel like you did. So basically, you can see he's saying that he's praising people. He's saying, like, you know, it's good that people are making and talking about UFOs and making content like this, but he's annoyed that they're ignoring the evidence.
I'm going to show you guys exactly what I'm on about. I'm going to tell you guys exactly what I'm on about. It sucks, but someone's got to do it. That's just the way. Okay. That's just the way it is, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to go over what some content creators think about some of the evidence that we've put out, and we're going to go over some actual evidence. Okay, stuff that we know. You never see me on this channel going, right, we're going to go over some videos that could be or might be. Generally, I go, this is what we're going to show you today. It's UAP activity. Now, I know it gets a little...
Okay, so he's saying there that on his channel, he doesn't show anything that's like if, buts, or maybes. If this guy's showing it, it is UAP full stop. There's no question about it. Okay, that's what he's saying about the stuff that he shows.
A little bit mundane after a while, but the whole point of me doing this, folks, is so that we share it for the world to see. It's all good us watching and watching and watching the same stuff, but if you guys don't share the evidence we put out, there's no point. So please, I'm asking you, you guys created me by sending me your evidence in the first place. I'm asking you guys to share the videos because they need to be shared, and only I can't do it alone. You guys need to do that, so please. Disclosure is what we're talking about. It's about the information. Let's get it right. And we're going to start off with, and again, I really didn't want to start naming people off, but it's got to the point now where you're on the wrong side of this whole topic.
Okay. First of all, obviously I feel like this guy's intentions are in the right place. I mean, you know, he's talking about UAPs. He's trying to spread the word of disclosure. Like, I think that's great. I think we can all agree on that. But he keeps saying that he wishes he didn't have to call people out. And I would just say, I don't think you did. Now, we're going to skip this because this isn't about me. That's not about me. It's somewhere around. Here we go. Okay. Okay.
Just go back to your audience and say, you know what? I've missed a lot. And just go over it with a fine-tooth comb. That's all I'm asking. Polarity. Nice guy, really nice guy. And like I say, at the moment, personally, on a personal level, I don't know any of these guys personally, you know. I'm sure they're lovely guys. Josh.
Thank you.
Over in Australia. Again, captivating, really cool channel. You can see I've subscribed. Doing really well. Everyone likes a talk show, right? Everyone likes to see evidence and see the minds of what people are saying. But I joined his Discord server, showed him this clip, in fact.
Cool. So this is the video that this drama is about, as he's saying. It's taken by, so this was sent to him by someone named Karen Rickson. Not that long ago, only like a week or so ago. So I'll let you guys watch the video. You can make your own mind up, and then we'll keep going.
I showed Josh this clip and a few of his viewers that had joined their Discord server. In fact, I shared a lot with them, okay? Shared an awful lot with them. And not once that I can remember did any of them say thank you for sharing this. They were a bit critical, and I answered all the critical questions that they had and backed it up with evidence.
So I'll just say I didn't see any of that. And first of all, when he says no one said thank you, my Discord servers are not that big, so it's active in some channels, but it's, you know, it's not like it's popping off all the time. Like there's a few regulars and we like to chat in there a lot, but it's not like it's full of people looking at the stuff that's being posted in there. It's pretty quiet. And also a lot of the chat happens in the members only section as well. So yeah, let's continue. I don't want to talk over him.
And one of the last videos I sent was this one. I think it was the last video. And it was just shat on. They basically turned around and, well, Josh commented and he said, that's a bee or a bug. You can see its wings clearly. Consider that one debunked. That's what he said, folks. That's what he said. Again, it's just...
Okay, that is what I said. In the context of watching that video, I don't know if you guys... We're going to have a look at it a bit more in a second. I don't know if you guys have maybe gone back and rewatched it again. When I saw that video, you got to understand as well, I want to protect the integrity of my own Discord server, right? So when people are coming in there, by the way, I didn't know this guy was a content creator at the time. I just thought there's a random guy in my Discord and he's posting videos. That's cool. That's what it's there for. But obviously, if I see a video and I can't even see what I'm looking at, I'm going to ask some questions because I want to protect the integrity of my own server. If someone new joins and, you know, wants to suss out what's going on and they see, you know, random AI videos or just like random shit, they're going to be like, you know, this place is a joke or whatever. So all I'm doing is just asking questions, just trying to make sure the integrity of my own server remains somewhat intact. Because like I said, it's small. I've got a couple of mods that help me out, but it's largely me looking after the place. Now, the first thing I asked was, what am I looking at here? Because in that video that he showed, and we'll watch it again in a second, I'm looking at the sky, right? So you can sort of see there's like someone's back garden, a fence, and the sky. So naturally, we're looking for UAPs. I'm looking at the sky. I watched the video like once or twice, and I was like, I just can't see anything. I don't even know what I'm looking at here. So I said, what am I looking at here? And I think someone replied, not Undercover ET UK. He didn't reply. Someone else did, and said, I think they just kind of pointed my attention down. They're like, oh, at the bottom near the garden. And I rewatched it, and I was just kind of like, do you mean the bug? Like this? Are you referring to this bug that flies past? And the other guy was kind of like, yeah. And I just said, okay, consider this debunked. And I just kind of put like a laughing face with a fly emoji. Now, I can totally understand why that comes across as disrespectful. And I apologize for that. I didn't want to be disrespectful. And I don't want to continue to be disrespectful by saying this, so I hope you don't take it this way. But I thought I was being trolled. Okay, I thought you were trolling me by posting that video and saying it was a UAP. Now, like I said, I'm protecting the integrity of my server, right? People do come in, as you know, we're in the UAP space. Disinformation is rife, okay? People come in and try and mess with you. When I saw that video, I'm thinking, okay, this is potentially someone just trying to ruin the integrity of the server. I'm not going to be rude and directly call him out, but I'm just going to say, hey, look, I don't think this is it personally. But look, yeah, I can totally see why that come across as disrespectful. So I apologize for that. I'll let him finish and then I'll continue.
Just another channel that's trying to get out there, and I respect that he's doing well and he's got himself out there. He's only done 50 videos, he's got 7k subscribers. Clearly he's entertaining, right? I've only been going, 7 or 8 months, and you guys, I completely love what I've done and what you guys are doing for me by watching and listening. And you're patient and you're taking in real evidence. And now I've got so many of you just recording, you're recording. Brilliant. More people that record, the more people that share, the faster this becomes, awareness becomes greater, and the faster this comes out. What we don't need is channels like Polarity, Disclosure Tonight, Casper Site, giving wrong information out to clearly bigger numbers. That is a problem for me. You're forcing my hand. I don't want my hand forced. I want you guys to wake up and realise what we're showing you is real. It's backed up with huge amounts of evidence. It's detailed. They're everywhere. And you guys don't want to know. I'm sorry, I'm not having it. And if you guys are going to just keep batting back like that, I'm not going to stay quiet. I really am.
Okay, so fair play. You've sort of heard what he has to say there. So look, let's jump back here. I don't think, okay. After I said what I said in Discord, which is what he found disrespectful, this guy's obviously based in the UK, right? So the time zones are whack. This is the reply that I got at 3 in the morning. So I wasn't online to see this. So let's take a look. He said, so he replied, so you can see my original comment there. I said, okay, well, we can consider this one debunked, laughing face, fly emoji. And at 3:07 a.m., he said, imagine wanting this out there, disclosure and all that, and being in denial. The speed of scientists can easily determine that it's not a bug, coupled with the size, and it's a still shot that shows a hockey puck-shaped UAP. Considering it debunked based on opinion is not good. I'll wear that. I'm no one to officially debunk anything, 100%. But let's just continue. Let's not forget the hit it leaves on the cell phone volume. This is a radio hit, and we have many of them. Anyway, ignoring facts and being on the wrong side of this is entirely up to everyone. Sad times. I'll leave you guys right here. And then he left the Discord server. So I woke up to that message, and I couldn't engage in a discussion with him because he was gone. So, first of all, okay, you said the speed that a scientist can easily determine this is not a bug. Now, with all due respect, you don't strike me as a scientist, and neither am I, okay? But you said you have watched my channel, so you probably know that I'm a visual effects artist. Well, I don't work as one anymore, but I have. I studied and I trained and I've worked in the industry as a visual effects artist. Okay. So at the very least, I can give you like an informed opinion and analysis of what I'm looking at. And I've done a little bit here of just kind of breaking up the frames that we can see this thing. Now, first of all, the big issue that I saw with this is that we're looking in the garden. We're not looking in the sky. We're looking in the garden. Okay. So that's already kind of like, that's weird. That's not normal. You also mentioned that it leaves a hit in the audio. Now, I didn't notice that in the video that you showed. I couldn't hear anything. I don't know if there was any extra evidence. I couldn't see it. But I think it's also pretty common understanding that, UAPs are silent and they're generally silent. If anything, they leave like an audible hum, like a guitar amp that's not been plugged in. Okay, so if this is leaving like a tick or a snick on audio, it's probably, to me, from what I'm looking at, and when I hear that, I think this looks like a decent sized bug, and you can probably hear its wings flapping. Just like, if you live in Australia, you know what a Christmas beetle is. I don't know if they're called something else in another country, but this looks like a Christmas beetle. Okay, go and Google a Christmas beetle. I'm sure you get a picture of what they look like. In fact, let me just Google Christmas beetle and see if they have another name. No, they don't, but here you go. Christmas beetle. I don't know if these are in other countries, but they're in Australia. They come around Christmas time and they're huge. Like they're huge and they're kind of scary. So, I mean, they don't hurt you, but just like it's kind of wild that these things that are like this big just start hooking around and making like audible noise. Anyway, we're in the wrong place right now. So I captured the screens and I think in the Discord, I replied with what we can see here, which is frame 3 and frame 4. And I use these frames as an example of just saying, hey, look, in these frames, you can kind of clearly see that in frame 3, the wings are down. And in frame 4, the wings are up. And you can see the same pattern kind of going from frame 1 and 2 as well. So in frame 1 over here, it kind of looks like a bit of motion blur. And it does more so look like you can see the blur on the high side. And in frame 2, it looks like the blur is coming down or perhaps in line with the object. And then in frame 3, it's all the way down. And then in frame 4, they're kind of like halfway back up again. And then in frame 5, it's gone. So given that, now again, I'm not trying to conclusively say that this is a Christmas beetle or a bug. All I'm saying is it very much looks like it is. Now, Undercover ET UK, all I would say to you is this. If you're going to put out this kind of evidence, you have to be prepared for people to kind of question it. And you have to be prepared to engage in discussion. So when I woke up to your message and you'd left the Discord, it kind of sucked because we couldn't talk about it, If you had have said, well, I've got this proof and I've got this reason and this understanding as to why I don't think it's a bug, I probably would have been like, okay, that's cool, man. I might not necessarily agree. It's sitting in the low probability area for me, but that's cool. I'm not going to delete your video. You can keep your video up there, but just a bit of context, a bit of explanation would have been nice. But I don't think it's going to help you to post this kind of evidence that, doesn't come across like the strongest to me, and then not be willing to at least talk about it, okay? Because I think I can comfortably say this kind of thing, you are going to get a lot of questions about. So you need to be prepared to have that discussion when you post this sort of stuff. That's just my advice to you. Hopefully you take that in a good way, because honestly, like when I woke up and I saw that, I was a little bit sad. I don't want people to come in my Discord and have a bad time. I certainly don't want to make people feel like I've disrespected them. But hopefully you understand that I'm just trying to protect the integrity of my own Discord as well. I'm busy making content. I don't always read every channel. So if there was previous things going on, I didn't see them, but I try to check in. I try to see what's getting posted. And yeah, apologies if I offended you, but I hope you can also see where I'm coming from and at least say, yeah, this kind of does look like a bug, or you could at least see how it could be interpreted as that. And maybe we can have a discussion and you can convince me as to why it's not a bug. That's all I'm asking, man. That's all I'm asking. I think this kind of deserves that. It deserves a little bit more of an explanation as to what's going on here. So that's that. Like I said, I didn't even know if I wanted to make this video, right? And I was kind of tossing it up, and then I got an essay, a thesis written about me and posted basically on every video that I've posted in the last couple of weeks. Now, in fact, it's so long that I've cut it up into slides like I do when we do 4chan read-throughs, okay? It's that long that it's got slides. And so we're going to read through it, and I've got no problem doing that because, you know, I sat through nearly 2 hours straight of the Lacerda files of some of the most poorly translated English. Oh, and by the way, actually, okay, here's another example of me being roasted in the last 24 hours. I got this comment yesterday, and it actually made me laugh out loud. It is hilarious, and I'll show you. So this was posted to me, I think, like a day ago on the Lacerda files part 2. And where are we? Comments. Okay, we want to look at the most recent. Okay, so the first two there, you can see the beginning of this thesis that's been spammed on all of my videos, which we're going to get to. But this comment here from Combo Lab, he says, kindergarten level reading in this video. I can't even track what you're saying due to the stuttering and fumbling of words. You need to do better, man. I feel sorry for you, honestly. Like, learn how to pronounce, please, before you take on such literature. Like, honestly, fair. I'll wear that. And I think I even said in that video, like, I did that video basically straight off of a 12-hour flight home from Japan. And the very next day when I woke up, I had to get up at like 4 a.m. and take my dad to the airport. And then I recorded that video that day. And like I've said with the Lacerda files, I don't read them first. I just cut them up and I read them with you guys. And so I don't know what I'm reading. It's so poorly translated from Swedish to English. And I'm like jet lagged and tired. And I think I was even laughing in the video because I was like, man, I am struggling. And there was words in there that I'd never seen before. So look, fair play, Combo Lab. I'll wear that. I did think that was kind of funny. So look, that's just another example of getting roasted in the last 24 hours. But what we're going to do is we're going to talk about this person here. And, you know, if you guys have been a long-term viewer and you read the comments, you've probably seen this person in the comment section. And I think he's got a chip on his shoulder because he thinks I've been deleting his comments or that I just ignore them. Now, please, let me take this opportunity to be loud and clear. I don't delete anyone's comments, ever. However, I get literally daily comments, or at least a comment on multiple comments on every single video of people saying, where'd my comment go? You deleted my comment. Why did you delete my comment? Mate, relax. I'm not deleting your comments, okay? I don't have time to delete comments. I've barely got time to read the comments. I try to at least read them all. And I reply to all of my channel members because that's part of their perks, is that I'll always respond to their questions and comments. And I still try to reply to other people who kind of leave thoughtful or engaging or just nice comments in general. Now, if you have an opposing opinion to me, which I always welcome, I'll also try to reply to that too if you're engaging in thoughtful discussion. But the truth is, this person likely just broke one of only two rules, okay? When I say leave a comment, I've got 2 rules. Let me tap the sign. Just here. Freedom of speech is rule 1. Go for it. Freedom of dickhead? No. Okay? We don't do freedom of dickhead here. So you can say whatever you want in the comments. Give me an opposing opinion. I like hearing the other side of the fence. In fact, I think it's important, and I think people should do that with an open mind, because that's how you get a broader perspective on issues in the world, right? If you just only take in the issues that agree with your existing perspective and beliefs, then you're just in an echo chamber. Then you just never grow. You never develop, and you just stagnate, and that's it. Okay, it's not a good way to be. So I invite opposing opinions, and when they're put forward in a nice way, I'll engage with them. I like the discussion, but if you're going to come across like a dickhead, well, your comment likely got deleted by YouTube because they have an automatic detection system. And if you're being like aggressive or using certain words, it just deletes it. Okay. That's out of my hands. I don't care if they're on there, but that's out of my hands. Okay. Remember, YouTube is owned by Google, and like this is censorship land. Okay. I'm surprised half my videos are even still up, to be honest. And if your comment is still up and it hasn't been deleted and I haven't replied, honestly, I might have just not seen it because it is hard to get to all of them. Or you expressed your opinion in an aggressive or non-constructive way and you just violated rule 2. Okay, that's it. I'm not going to engage with that. But since we're making a video about it, let's all read the novel, the length of something that George Martin would probably be proud of. And now you've got your own video. Okay, now you know that no one's deleting your comments. So everyone, this is Nova_X13. You've probably seen him in my comments. So let's kick it off. Josh, your censorship and hypocrisy are showing. Free discussion, not on Josh's watch. You love to preach about open dialogue and free thinking. I will never tell you what to think, you proudly declare. Yet behind the scenes, you're hitting the delete button on any viewpoint that challenges you. It's become painfully obvious that the only discussion that you welcome is the kind that praises your narrative. By scrubbing opposing comments while touting yourself as a free speech champion, you're not just being hypocritical, you're insulting the intelligence of everyone watching. Now, I'm not going to comment on every single part because there's 8. This is an 8-part comment. Look, I mean, like I said, nope, mate, no one's deleting your comments. There's no grand conspiracy against Nova_X13 from YouTube. The reality is, man, YouTube's probably just deleting your comments, or you just are coming across like a bit of an arsehole, kind of like you are in this comment too. But, you know, I just thought we'd use this as an example to let everyone know no one's deleting your comments. Let's keep moving. Oh, and in the thesis, which you can go and look on any of my recent videos and read for yourself, is like every part is like chapter marked, okay, with this little like tagline. Free discussion or just your discussion? You claim to hold space for healthy debate, but the reality is an echo chamber of your own making. Critical comments and genuine questions mysteriously vanish from your channel. For a guy who supposedly wants all perspectives, you sure have a habit of silencing anyone with a different perspective. This isn't moderation for hate or spam, it's censorship, plain and simple, aimed at protecting your ego and agenda. Look at the pattern. Posts praising you or echoing your opinions get to stay and pile up. Posts that politely disagree or present inconvenient facts get promptly wiped out. Free discussion is meaningless when you erase the free part and only leave the discussion that agrees with you. If you think that no one notices, think again. Your audience sees the one-sided comment sections and the gaping holes where dissent used to be. So, like, what I would say to this is that, like, what you're saying, I agree with, in terms of, yes, you know, if someone was deleting all of these comments, then yeah, it would be like this weird, protection of my ego and my agenda. And the reality is, yeah, the good comments do pile up because they generally get likes. I like them, I respond to them, and other people like them because I'm obviously going to engage with positive people who are being positive. And that's not even just like saying, oh, I love this channel. It's people who are like having discussion and want to talk about the video. Okay, when people come in and are aggressively having a go at the video, I'm not going to engage with that purely just because it's aggressive, right? If you want to like, and you know, example, if you go in the Elon Musk video, I had a great discussion with someone who, I'm not going to try and remember their name because I'll probably just butcher it. But he basically said, you know, like, do you actually realize how much Elon Musk is investing in far right-wing political parties around the world? And I replied, and I was like, no, honestly, no, I don't know anything about that. Like, can you hook me up with some links? And he did. And I had a read through and I was like, damn, that's interesting. Like, that's fair. Like I said in the video, I like Elon. I had no idea how much he does invest in these far right political parties. But I will also say that, I mean, we know Elon is right wing, obviously. So, you know, the fact that he's doing that is interesting. I didn't know that. It definitely kind of changes, you know, it's new data, right? But I still agree that I don't like that using that to say he's a Nazi. I still don't personally agree with, because I think like a Nazi is a whole other leap to the right. Like it's very far to the right. Like it's like racial supremacy. It's a lot. And yes, Elon is right wing, maybe even far right. But Nazi, I think that is like a scare tactic word used to just as like an effective scare tactic. But that's my opinion. And I don't hate you if you don't agree with me. This is my channel. I can only call it how I see it, right? Like our perspective of life is so limited to what our single human mind can take in. Okay. No one can like take in all the data in the world. It's just impossible, which is why thoughtful discussion is important. So we can kind of learn and see other perspectives. But when someone's trying to have a thoughtful discussion with you and like attacking with you, no one wants to talk to you, bro. No one wants to engage with you because you're coming off like an asshole. All right. Let's go to the next one. Unbiased only if it agrees with you. Josh, you love to insist that you're just seeking truth and have no bias, but facts tell a different story. You filter out content that doesn't fit your narrative and amplify one side of the story. That's not unbiased. That's the textbook definition of bias. When you only allow perspectives that align with your agenda, you're curating a one-sided narrative while pretending it's fair, objective discussion. Let's call it what it is. You have an agenda, and anything or anyone that contradicts it gets muted. You present yourself as a neutral host or commentator, but your actions scream the opposite. Deleting counter-arguments, ignoring evidence that challenges your claims, and cherry-picking the truths see the light of day. Which see the light of day. Apologies. That guy, Convo Lab, he's coming after me. These are acts of someone desperate to appear right at all costs, not someone honestly pursuing the truth. Okay, so what this says, right? He says, Josh, you love to insist that you're seeking truth and have no bias, but facts tell a different story. You filter out the content that doesn't fit your narrative and amplify one side of the story. I don't filter out any content. I create content based on my perspective of life, okay? The things that I see, the data that comes in, I compute it, I create from it, and I post on my channel, okay? Obviously, no one can believe in everything, but what I believe in and the things I like to talk about are obviously not what Nova 13, X13 likes to talk about, okay? And I think, Nova, you're mistaking, because I'm sure you're watching this, I think you're mistaking the fact that your views just aren't the same as my views. And dude, that's okay. I'm not upset that you don't agree with me. It would be cool if when you talked about it in my comments, you're a little less aggressive and constructive. But, this isn't a conspiracy. I'm not trying to twist the narrative. I'm just calling it as I see it. And I'll always, if I ever stated something in a video that was like then found to be just like blatantly incorrect or wrong, I would immediately address it in the next video. But I just try to call things as I see it. I'm always honest. I say that I'm really just like you, except I have a camera and a YouTube channel and I'm trying to learn and discover things as I go. But obviously I can only call it from my perspective. And I think the reality is it just doesn't match yours. Dishonest and manipulative tactics. What makes this behavior especially shameful is the dishonesty. You're manipulating your audience, many of whom genuinely come to you for insight, by spoon-feeding them a one-sided narrative and hiding the rest. You pretend to encourage people to think for themselves, all while you're busy removing ideas that you don't want them to think about. That's a con game, not a conversation. Your hypocrisy is hard to stomach. On one hand, you rail against censorship by others, even using hashtags like hashtag free speech and hashtag censorship when it suits you, positioning yourself as a warrior for truth. On the other hand, you censor any truth on your platform that isn't convenient for you. This two-faced tactic is intellectually dishonest. You are effectively gaslighting your audience, telling them you're the honest broker of information while you secretly ensure they only hear what you want them to hear. Well, I mean, the fact that I'm even making a video about this, I think discredits this whole slide, right? Okay, I'll never shy away from being wrong, and I'll never, I don't think someone could make the long-winded, unedited, raw, hour-plus long videos that I make and be dishonest. Like, people who would, I'm not saying people who dishonest, I'm not saying if you edit your videos, you're dishonest. That's not what I'm saying at all. But if you were trying to be like manipulative and dishonest, I think making these long, unedited videos like I do would not be the play, because you can't hide your true self for that long. Some people can't hide their true self at all. In fact, my like whenever I try to tell just like a cheeky little lie to my girlfriend, you know, just silly stuff, she knows straight away because I do this. See that with my nose? I can't stop doing that. My nose just flares. I literally can't stop doing it. And I just can't lie to her. I'll try and she'll just be like, "You're flaring your nose." And I'm just like, "Yeah, I'm lying." So yeah, look, dude, I feel like you obviously have a lot of time on your hands because this is quite a story and you watch every video, which I appreciate. Thank you. But I feel like this time you have to yourself, you've sort of constructed this grand conspiracy, and I don't feel like it's doing you any good. Next part, we're getting through it. Wake up, folks. You're being hoodwinked. To the audience, it's time to wake up. If you follow Josh believing you're getting the full truth or a real debate, think again. You're only seeing the side of the story that he allows. Ever wonder why there's hardly any critical voice in the comments or why tough questions never get answered? It's not because everyone magically agrees. It's because those voices are being silenced before you can even hear them. Ask yourselves, when was the last time Josh engaged with a well-informed critic? Well, I've already answered that. It was yesterday. Can you recall a single instance where he welcomed a hard question and addressed it openly? Or did the challenging post just disappear without a trace? Don't let him spoon-feed you opinions and call it truth-seeking. Real truth-seeking means looking at all sides of an issue, especially the uncomfortable ones. If Josh isn't letting that happen, then you're not getting the truth. You're getting propaganda with a smiley face on it. That's funny. I like that. Look, while we're here, let's go take a look at that, because I want to give you an example of people who are able to engage in real discussion, civil discussion. Now, I don't know if I'm going to be able to find this quickly, so please just bear with me, because especially you, Nova, because I know you're watching. I feel like you need to see this most of all because this is a great example. Actually, you know what? I feel like we might be able to find it quicker if we go here. If you guys are seeing your names here, shout out to you. Oh man, come on. I really didn't think it would take this long. Here we go. Ultra Mother. If you're watching this, Ultra Mother, shout out. So he said, "Dude, have you not heard about the wholehearted support Elon is giving to far-right parties in Europe and elsewhere like AFD in Germany, Reform UK, etc., etc., etc.?" You know, he even kind of did have a little go at me, and I still replied, okay? He said, "It's kind of funny to complain about the fact that Elon is denying the high likelihood of UFOs, but at the same time turning a blind eye to his obvious passion for Nazi movements. Wouldn't you agree that the whole 'my heart goes out to you, Roman salute' thing is highly suspicious in that context?" Which I don't really agree, personally. That doesn't mean I'm trying to hide it. I just don't agree. And that's okay. And this is what I said. I said, "No, I've not heard of those other than Elon's support for Reform UK, which I don't really think anyone would be surprised about given the state of the UK and the lack of confidence in Keir Starmer. I said, I'm happy to look at some of these other parties and Elon's involvement with them if you have any links. Even still, I don't think Elon, who remember used to vote Democrat until recently, supporting far-right political parties automatically converts him to being a literal Nazi," which I kind of talked about before. He hit me with a link and he said, "I like your channel and I think you're a good, talented guy, but I think you need to be a bit more careful with making broad statements about polarizing political developments because the rise of heavy-duty right-wing presence is very real in the UK and Germany. It is indeed endangering democracy as it is in the US. Let us be clear about the dimensions of influence this person has and how he is using it in the context of free speech and democracy." And again, see, look, I will give you, if you coming across like a good guy, I got time for you. I said, "I hear you, bro, and I'll take that on board." I had a quick read of the link, and there's definitely a lot that could invite the accusation of being a Nazi, especially with the salute ordeal added on top. While there's no argument against him being very right-wing, his very core value of free speech does not at all align with the authoritarianism and racial supremacy of the Nazi party. Being a genuine Nazi is a whole other leap to the right, and I think the word is used as an easy and cheap scare tactic and to discredit him. It is very polarizing, and it's not by accident that I named my channel Polarity. The world is so divided right now, and I try my best to help people realize that it's actually bottom versus top, rather than left versus right, as someone beautifully put it in these comments. But that does seem to ruffle a few feathers along the way, unfortunately. Thanks for the links and for the chat, mate. I got time for you if you're not being a dickhead. Now, let's continue with these slides. The truth seeker who runs from the truth. And Josh, let's talk about that favorite label of yours, truth seeker. A truth seeker doesn't run from hard questions. They run toward them. They don't delete criticisms, they debate them. And, I mean, is that not what we're doing here? By deleting legitimate criticism and ducking tough questions, you've shown that truth to you is only what boosts your ego or your brand. The moment truth gets inconvenient, you bolt. The irony is glaring, a self-proclaimed truth seeker who can't handle the truth when it's pointed at him. Man, this guy's going in. You can't have it both ways. You can't pose as a champion of truth and open inquiry and then flee the scene when the inquiry gets too real. All you're doing is proving that your platform can't stand on facts and honest debate. It survives on control of the narrative. And if your ideas really are solid, why would you need to shield them from scrutiny? The fact that you do suggests you know they might not hold up under real unbiased examination. Now, look, I mean, I feel like I don't even need to like defend myself to that, right? I think you guys know that like this just screams someone who is deeply hurt that they feel like I've been silencing them when in reality YouTube's been deleting their comments. Like that is the reality of this. Or I just haven't replied to some of them because you're being a little bit aggressive. And this guy has like manifested like this is, you know, this guy's just been going around in circles and he's upset. Okay, if you guys, and he'll probably be in the comments of this video. If you guys see him in there, be nice to him because he needs it. We got 2 more slides to finish. Time to face the music. It's time to drop the act, Josh. Your credibility is on the line. You have a choice to make. Either respond to these points openly and honestly, or continue to hide. In which case, you'll just prove every accusation here is true. Pretending this criticism doesn't exist won't make you look strong. It will make you look weak and culpable. So here's the challenge. Sorry, I can't help but do that voice. It's just, it is funny. Prove us wrong. Stop deleting comments that call you out. Address the criticisms head on. Show your audience you're willing to practice the free discussion you preach. Because right now, every time you hit delete on an opposing view, you're not just censoring someone else, you're undoing your own credibility. Well, I mean, I feel like this whole video just shuts down everything we just read there. So let's get on to the last slide. Your audience deserves better than a one-sided narrative. They deserve the truth, unfiltered. If you can't handle that, then maybe stop calling yourself a truth seeker and just admit what you really are, a performer in an echo chamber of your own making. Sorry, the voice is getting more intense as I go. I'm getting into character here. Until you change, your silence and censorship will speak louder than any of your words. The ball's in your court, Josh. Respond with substance, or watch whatever trust your viewers have left in you evaporate. I mean, I feel like dedicating a whole video to you, Nova X13, is that substance enough? I've just aired your entire thesis to my entire audience. So what do you think, dude? Get in the comments. You know, how are you feeling about that? Because the reality is, no one's deleting your comments, man. And I feel like if you start writing comments where you're perhaps not so angry and upset and aggressive, one, you'll probably find they don't disappear because YouTube won't delete them. And two, if you're making good points, you probably get a reply and we can have a talk about it. So that kind of wraps up the drama. And, you know, I don't like to call it that. And I don't like to, I know I did that video about Red Panda Koala the other day and people were like, don't get involved in the drama. Like, guys, I'm not getting involved in drama. I'm just talking about things that are going on in my life. Okay. Obviously, this is a channel about UFOs, non-human intelligence, questioning the truth of reality. You know, that's what gets my juices flowing, especially Nazis and UFOs. Something about the Nazis and UFO tech. Oh, I really need to do a video about that. But we're getting off track. On this channel, I like to be like I'm just myself, okay? And I'm sure most of you guys have been watching. You can tell that, and you know whether I'm doing videos here like this, whether they're the ones on the members only channel where I'm kind of sitting down and it's a bit more of a vlog, or it's me walking around with my GoPro, you see you're going to get the same guy, okay? This is me, this is who I am. And as much as I do love to talk about UFOs and all that kind of stuff, I do just, you know, I would love to use this channel to just kind of talk about whatever's going on. You know what I mean? Like, I want to talk about just whatever's going on in life if you guys want to hear it. That's the thing, okay? So, like I said, I had a few things I wanted to kind of talk about, I wanted to ask. I ran a poll the other day, okay? Here it is, by the way. This is on YouTube. If you haven't seen it, go and check it out. I basically was saying, you know, do you guys like the long form content? Do you often find yourself clicking watch later? Because if you do, I know that I compact a lot into one video, and that's just because when I start writing, I find it hard to stop. And I feel like short videos, I can't get my point across enough because I've got too much to say. So I find it hard to wrap things up quickly. I thought this was going to be a 20-minute video, and we're at 45 minutes right now. Okay, so you get what I'm saying. But I was saying, you know, do you want me, like the Elon video that we just did, for example, there was, like, we talked about Epstein files, USA, UFOs. That could have been like 4 videos, like 20 minutes each, right? Like, would you guys prefer that? Do you like little bite-sized things? Or even if I do post a long video like that, how would you feel if I then started uploading 20-minute segments from that, right? Because some people are going to watch it and, you know, they might get halfway and be like, okay, I'm kind of over this now. But maybe at the very back end, there was a story that they really would have liked that they've never seen. So that's the thing that I've thought about, right? But I know as a YouTube consumer, if someone I like uploads something and I watch the whole thing, goes for an hour, hour and a half, and then like 2 days later, they upload another video, like I'll see the new upload and I would be excited. I'd be like, yes, new video. And then click on it, or maybe immediately realize I'm like, oh, this is just 20 minutes from the video I watched the other day. That would kind of annoy me personally. I'd be like, oh, damn. And not only that, I know that if I clicked on it, realized and clicked off, like the YouTube algorithm is going to see that and be like, this video sucks. They watched it for 3 seconds and left. Do you know what I mean? So I don't know, like if I did that, would you guys watch it again? Like I wouldn't expect you to, but maybe you would. I don't know. So, you know, let me know what you guys are thinking. I actually did make a long time ago a second channel called Polarity Clips, and I could start uploading it there. But I don't know, the whole idea of managing a second channel just feels like a lot. But maybe that is the answer to that question. So go and check that out. Last couple of things. You guys might have noticed that there's been a new music track playing at the end of my videos, and sometimes even at the start as well. So it usually gets played like when I shout out all the members, right? So that's actually an edit that my good friend Contra, who is an Australian producer, made for me. It's a little Polarity edit that he made of one of his existing songs that you can listen to on Spotify. And honestly, if you haven't heard it yet, it's sick. I'm so happy with what he did. It's just perfect. It fits the Polarity channel so well. If you haven't heard it yet, you're about to, because we're about to wrap things up. But go and check him out on Spotify. A link to his Spotify will be in the description. Give him a follow. Check out his music. If you dig it, go and show him some love. So that pretty much about wraps it up just about for today, guys. It was obviously something a little bit different. Don't worry, I'm not going to be responding to everyone who has a problem with the things I have to say. I just thought, you know, there's been a little bit going on in the last 24 hours, so why not? Why not have a little bit of fun with this one? So that's pretty much it, guys. Keep being good to each other. Be kind. Always be willing to be wrong, okay? Because it's actually an opportunity to learn and grow. Get outside and touch grass. Take your dog for a walk. And I'll see you next time. Oh, shit. What the hell? That's crazy. Who put that there? Did you? What? That's crazy. How did that get there? I don't know, guys. I'm just kidding. Look, you gotta have fun sometimes. If you don't laugh, you'll cry.
Eventually, people are gonna say, "What the hell is going on?"
No matter how far you go into the dark, when you flip, you go exactly the same place to the light. In our galaxy, everything. Because everything is in balance. Everything is a polarity.
I think it's just going to get weirder and weirder and weirder, and finally it's going to be so weird that people are going to have to talk about how weird it is.